Harsh truths about relationships. Did you know that most people will fall in love multiple times in their lives, yet still struggle to make a relationship last? Or that even the happiest couples go through phases where they feel completely disconnected? Sounds harsh, right? But here's the truth. Love isn't a fairy tale. It's not all passion, butterflies, and happy endings. No one tells you this when you fall in love, but at some point, you will question your relationship. You'll wonder if your partner is really the one. You'll feel frustrated, disconnected, maybe even completely alone while still being in the relationship. But before you panic, listen up, because understanding these harsh truths isn't about scaring you. It's about preparing you. Most relationships don't fail because of a lack of love. They fail because people don't understand what real love actually takes. Today, I'm going to share 13 brutally honest truths about relationships, things no one tells you. But you need to know. Some of them might be hard to hear, but if you stick with me until the end, you'll walk away with a whole new perspective on love, one that could save your relationship or even help you find the right one. Ready? Let's get into it. Number 1. Most people don't know how to love properly. Here's something no one tells you. Love isn't just a feeling, it's a skill. And the harsh reality. Most people were never taught how to love in a healthy way. Think about it. Where did you learn about love? From romantic movies that show grand gestures but never the hard work. From parents who might have had their own struggles with love. Or maybe from past relationships that left you with more questions than answers. The truth is, many people enter relationships carrying unhealthy habits like poor communication, unrealistic expectations, or even emotional baggage from the past. They think love should just happen effortlessly. But real love isn't about finding the perfect person. It's about learning, growing, and building something strong with the right person. So if you've ever felt like relationships are harder than they should be, or if you keep running into the same problems over and over again, it's not because love is impossible, it's because no one ever gave you the tools to do it right. Love is a skill that can be learned. Healthy relationships are built on communication, trust, and emotional intelligence. If you're willing to put in the effort to unlearn bad habits and replace them with better ones, you can create a relationship that actually lasts. So, are you ready to break free from the patterns that hold you back? Let's move on to the next truth. Number 2. You will never be 100% sure that your partner won't cheat. Let's be real, no relationship is completely cheat-proof. No matter how much love, trust, or history you share, there is no absolute guarantee that your partner will never betray you. Now, before you start overthinking, hear me out. This doesn't mean you should live in fear or constantly doubt your partner. It just means that trust isn't about certainty. It's about choosing to believe in each other despite the uncertainty. People cheat for different reasons. Sometimes it's because there are deep problems in the relationship, lack of emotional connection, unmet needs, unresolved conflicts. Other times, it has nothing to do with the relationship at all. It could be personal insecurities, impulsive decisions, or even just opportunity. So what can you do? Instead of obsessing over whether your partner might cheat, focus on building a strong, fulfilling relationship where neither of you feels the need to look elsewhere. Prioritize open communication, emotional intimacy, and mutual respect. But at the same time, don't ignore red flags. If something feels off, address it. Trust is built with honesty, not blind faith. What do you think? Is it possible to ever be 100% sure about someone's loyalty? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deep dive into real relationship truths, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Number 3. Love alone is not enough. We've all heard it. Love conquers all. But here's the harsh truth. Love alone won't make a relationship last. Yes, love is important. It's the foundation. But even the strongest love can crumble if there's no trust, respect, or effort. Passion fades. Chemistry fluctuates. But what keeps a relationship standing through the ups and downs? Commitment, communication, and shared values. Think about it. How many couples break up even though they still love each other? Why? Because love doesn't magically fix poor communication, unresolved conflicts, or different life goals. Love won't make an emotionally unavailable partner suddenly open up. It won't erase financial stress, personal insecurities, or bad habits. Relationships take work. They require compromise, patience, and the willingness to grow together. You can deeply love someone and still struggle. And if both people aren't willing to put in the effort, love alone won't be enough to hold it all together. So instead of asking, do we love each other? Are we willing to do the work? Because that's what truly makes the difference between a relationship that fades and one that lasts. Let's move on to the next truth, one that might make you rethink your past relationships. Number 4. You can love someone without being in love. Here's something most people don't realize. Loving someone and being in love with them are two very different things. In the beginning, everything feels exciting. The butterflies, the passion, the constant craving for their presence. That's the in-love stage, the intoxicating rush of new romance. But as time passes, those intense emotions naturally fade. What's left is a deeper, steadier kind of love. The problem: many people mistake this shift as a sign that something is wrong. They panic, thinking, I don't feel the same spark anymore, maybe I've fallen out of love. But the truth is, no one stays in that honeymoon phase forever. Love evolves. It matures. And real, lasting love isn't about always feeling in love. It's about choosing to love someone even on the boring, frustrating, and imperfect days. That doesn't mean relationships should feel lifeless. It just means passion takes effort. If you want to keep the spark alive, you have to nurture it through connection, adventure, and emotional intimacy. But most importantly, don't confuse comfort for boredom. Sometimes, what feels like the end of love is actually just the beginning of something deeper. Let's move on to another truth that might challenge how you view commitment. 5. You will wonder if there's someone better. No matter how much you love your partner, at some point, you'll probably ask yourself, what if there's someone better out there? It's human nature. We crave the best possible life, the best experiences, the best relationships. And in today's world where social media constantly exposes us to seemingly perfect couples and endless dating options, it's easy to wonder if you settled too soon. But here's the truth. Every relationship comes with challenges. Even if you left your current partner and found someone better, eventually, you'd face a new set of struggles. There's no perfect person, only the person you choose to grow with. Instead of focusing on what's missing, ask yourself, are we aligned in values and goals? Do we communicate well and work through issues together? Do I feel respected, appreciated, and emotionally safe? If the answer is yes, then stop chasing an illusion. A great relationship isn't about finding someone perfect, it's about building something real with the right person. Now, let's talk about a reality that hits every couple at some point: feeling unappreciated and frustrated. Number 6. Sometimes, you will feel unappreciated and frustrated. Even in the healthiest relationships, there will be moments when you feel unnoticed, undervalued, or just plain frustrated. Maybe you go out of your way to show love, but your partner doesn't seem to notice. Maybe you feel like you're putting in more effort, making more sacrifices, or carrying more of the emotional weight. It's frustrating, and if left unaddressed, it can lead to resentment. But here's the key: feeling unappreciated doesn't always mean your partner doesn't care. Sometimes, they just express love differently. Maybe they show love through actions instead of words. Maybe they assume you already know how much you mean to them. That's why communication is everything. Instead of bottling up your frustration, talk about it. Let your partner know what makes you feel valued. Learn each other's love languages and find ways to meet in the middle. So, let's be real. Have you ever felt unappreciated in a relationship? Drop a comment below and share your experience. And if you're enjoying these hard truths, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because we're just getting started. Now, let's move on to a truth that many people don't want to admit. Number 7. You will see each other at your worst. In the beginning, it's all about showing your best self. You dress up, you're on your best behavior, and you try to impress each other. But in a real, long-term relationship, there's no hiding. At some point, you're going to see each other stressed, exhausted, frustrated, and completely unfiltered. You'll see your partner when they're sick, when they've had a terrible day, when they're overwhelmed with life. And they'll see you the same way. This can be uncomfortable at first. We all want to be loved at our best, but the real question is, can you love each other at your worst? That's what separates a surface-level connection from a deep, lasting bond. This doesn't mean accepting toxic behavior or making excuses for mistreatment. It means recognizing that no one is perfect. And true love isn't just about admiring someone's best qualities, it's about standing by them even when they're struggling. The strongest relationships aren't built on perfection. They're built on patience, support, and the willingness to love someone through every season of life. Speaking of tough moments, let's talk about something that happens to every couple: hurting each other, even when you don't mean to. Number 8. You will hurt each other. No matter how much you love each other, at some point, you will hurt your partner, and they will hurt you. It's inevitable. Maybe it's a careless comment, a forgotten promise, or a moment of emotional distance. Other times, it's in the heat of an argument. But the reality is, even the best relationships have moments of pain. The difference between a strong relationship and a broken one isn't whether you hurt each other, it's how you handle it. Do you apologize? Do you take responsibility? Do you work through the hurt together? A healthy relationship isn't about never making mistakes. It's about owning up to them, learning from them, and choosing to move forward with love and understanding. Now, let's talk about something that almost every couple faces but rarely admits: feeling lonely, even in a relationship. Number 9. You will feel lonely at times. It might sound strange, but here's the truth. You can feel lonely even when you're in a relationship. Being physically close to your partner doesn't always mean you're emotionally connected. Life gets busy, stress builds up, and sometimes, you just don't feel seen or heard. And that emotional disconnect can feel just as isolating as being alone. Feeling lonely doesn't mean your relationship is failing. It just means you need to nurture your emotional connection. It's about taking time to really connect, whether that's through deep conversations, shared activities, or simply spending. If you're feeling lonely, don't just ignore it or wait for your partner to fix it. Talk about it openly and honestly. Express your needs and work together to bridge the gap. Now, let's dive into something that every couple faces at some point: the inevitable boredom. Number 10. You will feel bored at times. Here's a harsh truth that many people don't want to admit. You will feel bored at times in your relationship. In the beginning, everything is exciting. Every date night feels like an adventure, and every moment together feels like the start of something new. But over time, the excitement naturally fades as you both settle into routines. The daily grind takes over, and the spontaneous spark seems to vanish. Does that mean the relationship is in trouble? Not at all. Boredom is a natural phase in any long-term relationship. It doesn't mean love is gone. It just means things have evolved. Now is the time to shift gears. Rather than letting boredom turn into resentment or frustration, use it as an opportunity to rediscover each other. Find new activities to enjoy together. Try something different. It could be as simple as cooking a new meal, going on a weekend trip, or even trying a hobby together. Relationships go through seasons. Boredom is just one of those seasons. If you're both willing to put in the effort, you can reignite the spark and make the ordinary feel extraordinary again. Let's move on to another truth that often gets overlooked: the fact that your past will follow you into your relationship. Number 11. You will bring your past into the relationship. No matter how hard you try, your past is going to show up in your relationship. Whether it's the childhood wounds, past heartbreaks, or scars from previous relationships, your history is a part of you. We all carry baggage, whether we acknowledge it or not. Your past experiences shape how you view love, trust, and conflict. For example, if you've been hurt in past relationships, you might struggle with trusting your partner. If you had a difficult childhood, you might find it hard to express emotions or vulnerability. But here's the thing: your past doesn't define your future. While those experiences are a part of you, they don't have to control your current relationship. What matters is how you deal with it. The key is communication. Be open about your past. Share your fears, your triggers, and the things that have shaped you. When you understand each other's pasts, you can better support each other and avoid letting old wounds create new problems. And here's the hard truth: you can't expect your partner to fix your past. Healing is something you both need to work on together. But it starts with self-awareness and acceptance. By actively working through your past, you not only heal but strengthen your bond. The more you understand each other's history, the more you can build a present and future that's stronger than any past. Now, let's talk about something most couples face: the inevitable moments when attraction starts to fade. Number 12. You won't always feel attracted to your partner. Here's a reality check: attraction in a long-term relationship won't always stay at its peak. In the early days, the passion is fiery, the desire is constant, and everything about your partner seems magnetic. But over time, the intense attraction you felt in the beginning may ebb. It's normal, and it doesn't mean the love is gone or that something is wrong with your relationship. Attraction isn't a static thing, it fluctuates. Life gets in the way. You're busy with work, bills, family responsibilities. Stress, exhaustion, and the mundane realities of daily life can make it harder to feel that same level of desire. And sometimes, you may just go through phases where you don't feel as drawn to your partner as you did before. But here's the catch. That doesn't mean the relationship is doomed. What it means is that attraction is not just about physical appearance, it's also about emotional intimacy, connection, and effort. If you're feeling disconnected, take the time to reignite that spark. Engage in activities together that build emotional intimacy. Spend quality time. Keep the conversations going. Revisit the things that initially brought you close. It might not be as instant or intense as it once was, but you can find ways to reconnect. Remember, attraction is a journey, not a destination. It evolves with time, and it's up to both of you to nurture it. Next up, you won't always like your partner, and that's okay. Let's dive into why. 13. You won't always like your partner. Let's be real, there will be days when you just don't like your partner. Love and liking are two different things. You can love someone deeply and still have moments where they annoy you, frustrate you, or even make you question your sanity. Maybe it's the way they chew too loudly, their habit of leaving dirty dishes in the sink, or how they always forget to text back. At some point, their quirks that once seemed cute might start to drive you crazy. That's normal. No one is perfect, and spending years with the same person means you're going to see sides of them that you don't always enjoy. But here's what matters: how you handle those moments. Do you let small annoyances build into resentment, or do you communicate and work through them? Do you remind yourself why you chose them in the first place? Instead of focusing on the things that bother you, shift your mindset to appreciation. Every person has flaws, including you. Instead of expecting perfection, accept that relationships require patience and understanding. You're not always going to like every little thing about your partner, but that doesn't mean your love is any less real. In the end, a strong relationship isn't about never getting annoyed, it's about choosing each other even on the days when you don't feel like it. And that brings us to the biggest truth of all: love alone is never enough. Let's talk about why.